Hello, everybody. I am back with another guest. Today, I have Nancy, who is an interior designer at Mabel Design Co. As always, I am Christina DeMarinis, and I am a mortgage agent who can do anything that has anything to do with mortgages. That is the purchases, the refinances, the debt consolidation, anything you can think of. I am here to help with that. So let's not waste any time. And Nancy, why don't you tell us a little bit about you?
Hi, Christina. Hi, everybody. I am Nancy Kemper, founder, principal designer, and creative director of Mabel Design Co., located in the GTA. And we do residential and hospitality interior design projects globally. So, for hospitality, boutique restaurants, boutique hotels, bars, that sort of thing. We also do boutique retail and other commercial environments. We really specialize in full service interior design and the full scope of the project and really alleviating the stress of a design and construction project from our clients.
That's awesome. I love that. I'm really happy to have you here today. And I'm excited to hear, kind of some insights from you on that. So let's dive right in. How exactly do you tailor your designs to reflect the unique personalities and lifestyles of those residential clients that you mentioned before?
Good question. So, I approach each project by getting to know my clients very personally. So, on a personal level, understanding their tastes and their interests, what their lifestyle is, how they use their current space, and what their aspirations are for their future space. So, understanding this and getting to know them quite well on a personal level, it allows me to tailor every design decision from the overall concept to the smallest details to create a home that is a true reflection of who our clients are. Every client is unique, and our designs reflect their individuality and enhance our clients' lives and their lifestyle.
That's awesome. I love that because we're in completely, opposite, not opposite, but like very different fields. And the way that I would probably answer this question is very similar to that because for me, it all starts with that, first conversation and understanding the needs of a client as well. And I think that's why we get along so well is because we do have very similar like passions towards that, and that is at the forefront of what we do, right? Like for me, I am always trying to look for those needs of my clients and what goals or concerns that they have, literally from the very first bit of our conversations. And then so I go off and you do a customized interior design, but then on my end I customize them a mortgage solution. And so for me, I'm always trying to put people in these better scenarios than they came to me in. And I think you do a lot of the same things there. So that's unreal. I really like that. And I appreciate that we are very similar in that scenario. But I think it's interesting because not everything can be so like smooth. And you do find out that when you are having these conversations that some clients do have a lot of um, challenges, or there are certain unique scenarios that do bring up like speed bumps or curveballs in any scenario, right? And I'm sure that you find that too. So do you have any kind of like challenges that you feel like you're often encountering when you're kind of collaborating with those homeowners on, like, let's call it like a renovation project or something like that?
Yes, always. Every single project comes with its challenges and also its rewards. But some common challenges that always come up are they include balancing the design vision with the client's expectations, managing the timelines and the budgets, and navigating unforeseen site conditions that could come up during the construction phase that nobody ever anticipated them coming up. So Number one, communication is 100% key to overcoming all of these challenges, as well as careful planning and coordination and a large attention to detail for sure. And essentially, if you can, we at Mabel Design Co., we offer all of that. And because of that, we can ensure a successful outcome. And right from the beginning, we work very closely with our clients and establish realistic expectations right off the bat. And also keeping that open line of communication throughout the entire project with regular updates, and also just listening carefully to the client about what their needs are and listening to their feedback, and yeah, keeping that line of communication open.
I love that because I'm going to say it again, but we are very much aligned on that too. Because, like, for me, I'm also collaborating, and I don't know if a lot of people think about it when you're doing a mortgage, that you are collaborating with, the people that are helping you throughout, right? But really, I am collaborating a lot with my clients, and so for me, that communication is really, really key. And I almost over communicate with my clients because I do want them to be, involved and informed, and I want them to be empowered by the scenarios and the journey that we're on together. So for me, I really make it a point to involve my clients because, I say this a lot. Like, it's not my life that I'm affecting, right? It's my client's life, and it's similar for you as well. Like, you're making that client, feel good and change their life for the better, and I'm doing the same thing. But at the end of the day, it's not my life that I'm really making these decisions for. So that's why I think communication is majorly important in my world, because you really need those clear explanations and guidance, especially if you're like a first time home buyer, or your scenario can be complicated, whether that be you're like a business for self individual, or something like that, where it's not very clear cut. So I'm happy to hear that you are a very big communicator as well, because so am I. So I love that, and I appreciate that we are the same. Uh,
Absolutely, it's super important.
yeah, yeah, definitely. So do you have like any advice for homeowners who are about to go um, into the design like world, but don't really have preferences? They're a little bit unsure. Like, how do you I guess, well, let's stay on the topic of communication. Like, how do you communicate those like wants and needs, and manage that unsure aspect of it all?
Yeah, that's a really good question because a lot of clients, they don't really know what they're looking for, what their design style is, what their tastes are. So for clients that really kind of have no clue where to start, or just anybody in general, my advice would be to start exploring different styles and ideas. Look at various sources of inspiration, whether it's online, in a magazine, or a design book. Look at art, fashion, architecture, even looking through your existing home or various places that you frequent, like your neighborhood coffee shop or your friend's home that you really love, that sort of thing. Or maybe looking back at photos that you may have taken while you were on a trip somewhere. Try to identify the colors, textures, styles, anything in particular that you're drawn to, and start. Basically, what you want to do is you want to start gathering a collection of images, or if you want to create a mood board or a vision board, you can do that too. Those are really good tools for identifying what you resonate with, and identifying what reflects your taste. And then it's also important, this is crucial with any project, is you want to also consider the functionality of the space, how you want it to flow, but also how you want it to feel. So, really identifying each room of your project, how do you want that to flow? Very important ones are, kitchen, washrooms, but a work from home office, that's also important. Every space is important. And then how do you want it to feel? Do you want it to be sleek and modern, or do you want it to feel cozy and inviting? Those are two completely different feels, and we can identify whatever it is that you're looking for. So you also want to trust your instincts and don't be afraid to take risks. So, a skilled designer that you wish to work with, they will help guide you through the process to clarify your ideas, and then they will translate your ideas into a cohesive design that reflects your unique style and your personality.
That's awesome. And I have a couple of things that I want to touch on here, but one of the things that you mentioned was like the functionality of, the space that you're in or whatever. And it's really funny you say that because I'm in the process currently of finding a new coffee table. And so the other day I put down like I found one that I think that I might like. It might be a little too big, blah blah blah. It doesn't really matter. But it's funny because I put down like, I marked it where like the ends would be and how big it would be, and was starting to walk around it like, is it too close to the wall, is it too much of this and whatever. And I was like, this is you speaking was kind of funny to me because I was like, I have been doing that. I am a little unsure, but I have been doing that. So I'm happy that I'm on the right path there with my interior designing,
That's
because
good.
yeah, yeah, I love it. I actually love like shopping for furniture and things like that. So I really enjoyed this conversation. But you also said something kind of about like planning and really like guiding and like forward thinking types of things, and it made me think about too like this is kind of where we differ because you just gave such a wonderful explanation of how you kind of plan for those uncertainties and things like that. But then on my end, I don't really, you know, I deal with a lot of clients who do search the web and find a lot of information online. But for me, if you are kind of uncertain about those like financial situations you might be in, I actually would prefer that you just come speak to me directly, because I think that that is maybe the better resource than reading so much online, because I think that's where a lot of fear gets kind of brewed up, and you do start to pull back when you are in that mortgage journey, because you're like, oh, you know what, I don't think that I'm ready for this. I don't think this. I don't think that. And it's a lot of negativity. So for me, that's why I always say, like, hey, let's just have a conversation. Let's dig into it. Let's kind of dive into it head on, because if you keep avoiding, that is where those uncertainties will live forever, and where those bad things kind of creep up. But if you kind of approach them head on and have conversations, and we build you a mortgage plan, even if you're not ready today, in a year or 2 years from now, I have so many different people in my network that can help boost finances or whatever it might be. So it's interesting because I like your approach of like find inspiration around you, but on my end, this is where we differ. I'm like, come directly to me. Let's find the solution and dive into it. So I really like that, and this has been a
Awesome.
lot of fun. I really enjoyed having you here.
Thank you so much for having me. It was awesome to chat with you.
Yeah, yeah. And if people wanted to get in touch with you, how would they do that?
So they can either reach out via my website, so it's mabeldesignco.com, or on any social platform. Instagram, for example, is Mabel Design Co. Same with LinkedIn and TikTok and Pinterest and Facebook, all of the things.
All of them, no matter where
Yeah.
you are, just look at Mabel Design Co. I love that. Uh, Incredible. I am Christina DeMarinis. You can find me at christinademarinis.ca. And all my socials are Christina DeMarinis Mortgages. You can find me anywhere if you just search that up. And I wanted to say that I am in this jersey because the last time that I did an interview, I wore this jersey and the Leafs won. So if you make it this far, hit us with a comment of Go Leafs Go. I'm very superstitious in this moment. I forgot to address that in the beginning. So let's go, Leafs.
Good for you. Yeah, let's go.
I love it. All right. Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.